Hello po mga kababayan, si Dante Maravillas. Dito ulit tayo sa ating podcast, Live with Dante M. Tuloy-tuloy po ang trabaho at serbisyo ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Very busy President. Kanina po lumarga uli yung ating Pangulo papuntang South Korea para sa APEC meeting. After na mag-attend siya mga kababayan ng ASEAN Summit sa Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, kung saan naging very productive po ang kanyang mga engagements. At inassume na rin niya, mga kababayan, yung pagiging ASEAN chairman for 2026. Pero yung mga importanteng bagay po dito sa ating bansa, hindi po ninineglect ng ating Pangulo. Tingnan naman ninyo po ito, mga kababayan. Marcos Jr. signs into law a measure that bans declares Pogo illegal. Kaya sabi ni Risa Hontiveros, I am overjoyed, anya. Tuwang-tuwa si Risa Hontiveros kasi siya yung talagang nakipaglaban sa Senado para tuldukan po ang presence ng Pogo dito sa ating bansa. Kaya tinuldukan na po ng ating Pangulo ang illegal operation ng Pogo dito sa ating bansa, na alam naman po natin kung saang administrasyon na mayagpag yung Pogo sa previous administration po ni Digong. So, to give you a background, bago pa ba mga kababayan na isabatas ang Anti-Pogo Act, libo-libo po yung nahuli ng ating mga otoridad sa utos ng ating Pangulong Bongbong sa mga illegal facilities, daang-daang illegal facilities ng Pogo sa ating bansa, at tuluyang na ipasara. Ito'y para tugunan, mga kababayan, ang nakakasirang epekto ng Pogo sa ating bansa. Mula sa SUNA po noong 2024 hanggang sa ngayon na pinirmahan ng ating Pangulo ang Anti-Pogo Act, hindi po ito tinantanan ng administrasyong Bongbong Marcos. So makikita ninyo po, ang ginawa ng ating Pangulo ay pagsasakatuparan ng kanyang pangako noong SUNA na gawing ligtas yung ating bayan laban sa mga negosyo na sumisira sa dignidad ng ating mga mamamayang Pilipino. Hindi tayo dapat gawing kasangkapan po para manloko o magnakaw, o kundi naman gawing daan para kumita yung mga dayuhan na kung umasta dito sa ating bansa parang mga hari na po. Sila na yung nag-ari-arian po dito sa ating bansa. Alam naman po ninyo kung sino yung nag-tolerate nito, yung previous administration ni Digong. So ito po yung patunay, mga kababayan, sa pagpirma ng ating Pangulo ng Anti-Pogo Act. Higit sa kanyang matimbang ang kaligtasan ng ating mga mamamayan laban sa kikitain kung bobowisan lang po yung Pogo. Diba yan ang yan ang naging rason ng previous administration kasi kumikita daw yung gobyerno. Hindi maaari ang ganyan. At dito naman po sa issue ng flood control scam, makikita natin na mukhang wala ngang sasantuin yung Independent Commission on Infrastructure, alinsunod sa utos ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, na panagutin ang lahat ng sangkot, maging anuman ang katungkulan. Nakita ninyo, pinasampaan na po ng kaso ng ICI sa Ombudsman ang ilang mga matataas na opisyal, dalawang senador, si Jinggoy, saka si Villanueva, DPWH former Yusek Bernardo, dating ako Bicol Congressman Saldico, Caloocan 2nd District former Congresswoman Mitch Kahayon Oy, saka si COA Commissioner Mario Lipana. At marami pang susunod, mga kababayan. Ngayon, kung maipafile yung kaso ng Ombudsman sa Sandigan Bayan, malamang magpapasko na sila, mga kababayan, sa kulungan. Kaya doon sa mga naiinip po, huwag kayong mainip. Kasi yung ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, maingat po. Ayaw niya na mahina yung ebidensya. Nainip kasi yung iba. In other than that, mga kababayan, dito pa yung mga developments ngayon. Sabi dito sa report ng GMA News, list of luxury vehicles owned by spouses Diskaya up for auction on November 15. The government is hoping to raise 200 million pesos for the auction, which will be live streamed. Ayan Toyota Tundra 2022 model, Toyota Sequoia 2023 model, Rolls-Royce 2023 model, Mercedes 2022 model, another Mercedes-Benz G500 2029 model, Lincoln Navigator 2021 model, tapos yung Bentley 2022 model. So nakita ninyo kung gaano kaseryoso po yung Marcos administration. Mabawi itong mga properties na nakuha sa masamang pamamaraan, mga kababayan. O ito pa, just in mga kababayan, pinag-utos ng ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa mga agencies ng ating gobyerno with infrastructure component in their budget to follow the pricing system of DPWH and reduce the cost of their construction materials by 50%. So sabi dito sa report ng Inquirer, the directive covers Department of Education, Department of Agriculture, Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG, Department of Health, Department of Transportation, National Irrigation Administration, and other relevant agencies. So let me be clear, sabi po niya, the quality of what we build will not be compromised. The only thing weakened will be corruption, sabi ng ating Pangulo sa kanyang departure speech papuntang South Korea para sa APEC meeting. Yan sabi niya. The only thing weakened will be corruption. This is the accountability our citizens deserve. I will not be limited to the public works, but shall be the norm across government. We are reducing cost for the 2026 of the FMR's irrigation, classrooms and hospitals. The savings we secure will go where they matter most. The programs that uplift families, support livelihoods, and strengthen communities. Yan ang ating Pangulo, mga kababayan. Talagang gusto niyang tundukan ang massive corruption sa gobyerno. Ito yung departure speech, mga kababayan, ng ating Pangulo.
Oh, please, take your seat. Members of the Cabinet, and of course our proverbial host, Pasay City Lone District Representative Antonino Calixto, Pasay City Mayor Imelda Calixto Rubiano, the AFP Chief of Staff, General Romy Browner, and the Major Service Commanders, Philippine Coast Guard Commandant, Admiral Gil Gavan, Philippine National Police, Police Chief Lieutenant General Jose Melencio Nartates, and of course, First Lady Luis Araneta Marcos, fellow workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I depart now for Gwangju, Republic of Korea, to attend the 32nd Economic Leaders Meeting and related activities upon the invitation of President Lee Jae-myung. We must recognize the immense economic gravity of the APEC region. It accounts for nearly 46% of global trade in goods and commercial services and generates roughly 61% of the total global GDP. This means that the growth and stability of this region are directly tied to the opportunities and welfare of all Filipinos. So given these high stakes, this gathering is imperative. We convene at a critical juncture defined by evolving geopolitical landscapes, supply chain disruptions, threats of climate change, and the urgent need for equitable and inclusive growth. The ROK's theme for APEC this year is Building a Sustainable Tomorrow, Connect, Innovate, Prosper. That is strategically aligned with our own national development agenda. So we are committed to aggressively ramping up physical and digital connectivity, accelerating digital transformation for competitiveness, and ensuring stable and equitable prosperity for all Filipinos. Our collaboration with the Republic of Korea and all APEC economies is pivotal. We will forge deeper ties around our shared goals and objectives, including fostering AI-driven innovation, enhancing cultural and creative industries, and proactively addressing demographic challenges. This collective resolve will ensure that our development efforts align with the regional progress, laying the groundwork for a future with the power of creativity, technology, and sustainability benefits every Filipino. Consistent with our long-term vision under Ambition 2040, our engagement with the leaders of the economies of the Asia-Pacific region will be focused on actionable areas. Number one, to guarantee equitable access to digital services and financial inclusion, particularly in underserved rural areas. Also, advancing seamless movement of goods and people through investment facilitation and infrastructure development. Promoting as well supply chain resiliency amid shocks and crises. Promoting digital literacy and skills development for our micro, small, and medium enterprises, women, and other segments whose full economic potential can be realized through digitalization. Aligned with our goal to boost investment promotion and industry development, I will be delivering a special speech at the APEC CEO Summit, an annual gathering of top CEOs within the APEC region. And through this, I intend to showcase the Philippines' commitment to fostering economic partnerships and promoting a favorable business climate, aligned with our government's vision of building a strong, innovation-driven economy. Among others, we will highlight how we are pursuing digital transformation as a core pillar of our development, fully recognizing the potential of new technologies to unlock a more prosperous and resilient future. Coming from the successful 47th ASEAN Summit this week, we will also lobby for stronger collaboration with regional partners, including ASEAN, in driving and achieving our shared objectives for a sustainable, technologically empowered, and inclusive future. As the chair of ASEAN for 2026, our goal is to impart that working silos impede the region's potential. Real growth and lasting prosperity are achievable when we break down barriers, share knowledge, and collaborate across sectors, industries, and communities. On the sidelines, I look forward to meeting with Korean business leaders to deepen trade ties, attract investment, and strengthen people-to-people cooperation. I want to use this moment to reaffirm a core truth to the international business community. The Philippines is not merely ready. We are a reliable, forward-looking partner in the Asia-Pacific. Invest in the Filipino. I also look forward to meeting our vibrant Filipino community in Busan for the first time, where our fellow countrymen continue to thrive and make meaningful contributions to the city's socio-economic growth, further strengthening the enduring people-to-people ties between the Philippines and the Republic of Korea. I am fully confident our participation in the APEC Economic Leaders Meeting will produce concrete, meaningful outcomes that enhance cooperation, drive connectivity, and promote inclusive prosperity. So, alongside our efforts to strengthen the Philippines' regional foothold and attract investment, we continue to cleanse our bureaucracy of corruption, because only a transparent government can build a fair economy. Last October 25, this administration renewed a promise that guides all our actions: to guard every peso entrusted to us and return it to our people in the form of progress they can see and that they can feel. When funds are protected and spent to discipline, prices ease, opportunities grow, and communities thrive. The Department of Public Works is now aligning its project costs with real market prices and reducing these by 50%. So let me be clear. The quality of what we build will not be compromised. The only thing weakened will be corruption. This is the accountability that our citizens deserve. It will not be limited to the public works, but we shall be the norm across all of government. We are reducing costs for 2026 of the FMRs, the irrigation, classrooms, and hospital. In this light, the DepEd, DADILG, DOH, DOTR, NIA, and all other relevant agencies shall immediately follow the same pricing system as that of the DPWH. The savings we secure will go where they matter most. The programs that uplift families, support livelihoods, and strengthen communities. Because when our people grow in capability and confidence, the nation grows with them. A government that honors public trust, a nation that stands firm on integrity. This is our promise and real change for Filipino today and for all generations to come. But before I end, it is impossible to talk about this APEC meeting without referencing, as we are here today, right now, at this moment, the meeting between President Trump and President Xi that they are presently holding. And the results of those meetings will color and influence everything that we will be doing in the APEC meeting. It is the world is watching, because this is the source of the largest shock that has entered into the world trade system. And we have to see what the agreements will be coming out of these meetings between President Xi and President Trump. Those will certainly color everything that we will be talking about in this APEC, because the agreements or the arrangements that are made between two of the largest economies in the world will certainly affect every single citizen of the world. And so that makes this APEC meeting a much different meeting from all the others that we have attended, because on the sidelines are the decisions being made on how trade is going to be conducted, certainly at least between the two largest economies in the world, but with a ripple effect for entire global economy. And so that is what we are looking out for. That is what we need to understand. And that is why the world is watching and waiting, as we are. Maraming salamat at mabuhay tayong lahat.
So yan po ang ating Pangulo. Paalis na. O diba? Talagang seryoso. Mga kababayan, yung ating Pangulo na labanan ang massive corruption sa ating gobyerno. Na iyon ang dahilan kung bakit mabagal yung ating pagunlad. Kagabi, mga kababayan, yung ating Pangulo with First Lady, nasa Araneta Coliseum siya with First Lady Marcos, Lisa Marcos, attended the 50th anniversary celebration of the 1975 Trilla in Manila. So, pinangalanan siyang Trilla in Manila 2 para i-commemorate yung legendary 1975 Muhammad Ali Joe Frazier bout, and also featured top Filipino fighter showcasing local boxing talent on global stage. Nandun si Manny Pacquiao. Yan o. Si Manny Pacquiao kasama ng ating Pangulo. Nandun din si Marujas o. Di ba? Nagyaka pa si Manny Pacquiao at yung ating Pangulo. Ayan po. Yan yung nangyaring event kagabi, mga kababayan. Halos hindi na mamahinga yung ating Pangulo. Napakasipag, mga kababayan. Ayan lang po, mga kababayan, yung short video natin ngayon. Atid sa inyo nitong napakagandang product from Australia. I am worldwide amazing pure organic barley powder drink mix. Yung mga gusto po na mag-try nito, mag-message na lang po kayo sa amin. Dante Maravilla sa Facebook. Kung hindi, yung mga gustong mag-negosyo nito, magpa-orient kayo sa aking anak na architect entrepreneur, Riz Maravillas. So lagi nating tatandaan, mga kababayan, sa buhay, you become what you deserve. What you believe pala. You become what you believe. Ako po si Dante Maravillas. Bye-bye. God bless.